Dear students, in this video, we are going to study about the second type of valuation, business valuation, that is asset approach. The asset approach, this mainly focuses on the assets of the business. There are different kinds of assets which a business will be holding and having. So when we do the valuation of those assets in a proper form, so that is called as asset approach. Okay, that is called as asset approach. So asset approach, the valuation methodology here is adjusted net asset method. Okay, so the methodology what we adopt here is to use the adjusted net asset method. Right, whatever your assets are there, we calculate that under this particular methodology. Then what are the basic steps? The basic step first is adjust assets to the fair market value. Our assets need to be adjusted. It should be adjusted or need to be adjusted to fair market value. Whatever is our fair market value, with the fair market value, the adjusted assets should be made. Similarly, adjust liabilities to the fair market value. The liabilities, all different kind of liabilities, should be adjusted to fair market value. What are the pros? Benefits. Provides floor value of the company. So this asset approach provides a value exactly to the company about their net assets. So that is called as floor value. Company can get the value of their net assets, which will be very good for taking a decision. And whether if the assets are, whether they are giving some return. So those all things we can analyze only after knowing the floor value. So that is a benefit for a company. Next is second type of benefit for asset approach is relatively simple analysis. Asset approach does not involve more amount of calculations. It does not involve more amount of scientific kind of research or any other kind of some tools and techniques. It is a simple analysis where you are analyzing your own assets and you are going to give a result about the business valuation. Okay, so this is relatively a very, very simple kind of analysis. Now, what are the cons or what are the disadvantages? All right, there are some cons of assets approach. First is often not indicative of value for healthy business. Okay, so all the times asset does not consider as an indicative or indicator of value of a healthy business, because there are some business whose value in the assets, in terms of assets, it might be less. But when we see about in other things like their profitability, their solvency position, their liquidity, it is much more than that. So we can tell this that as it is one of the disadvantage that it does not consider about different other indicators, which tells you about the healthiness of the business or which tells about the value for the healthy business. Because that is becomes a disadvantage. Similarly, may be necessary to obtain fixed assets and real estate appraisals. Okay, so here all kind of assets we need to take, including fixed assets and real estate appraisals. So now real estate appraisals in the sense real estate calculations, your land is there, building is there, some sites are there. When you're taking these all calculations, all the time this calculation won't be correct. They might be calculated on sometimes on the basis of assumptions. So that again becomes a kind of cons or a disadvantage of having an asset approach. So asset approach theory, it says that the value of the company is estimated as a function of the current cost to purchase or replace all the asset held within the operating entity. So the value of the company is estimated. How do we estimate is that particular thing is estimated as a function of current cost, right? The value of the company, it will be calculated as an important function of current cost. Why do we do this? To purchase or repair all assets held within the operating entities, right? To purchase either a new assets, or if any was assets in the organization or some or major part of assets are not functioning well, then to get repair of those assets, right, we have to have a proper current cost. Then it is based upon the principle of substitution, right, which states that no prudent investors would pay more for a company than the amount to recreate or buy it, right? There is a basic principle that asset approach says about principle of substitution. If one of your machine or asset is not performing well, in the place of that, you have to bring a substitute of that so that it functions well, it performs well. Okay. And here, similarly, there are some prudent investors, there are some important investors who would pay more for a company or an asset than the amount to recreate or buy it. Okay. If you want to buy it, or if you want to invest in a company and assets, particularly in a company or asset, the investors also will come forward. But similarly, if the investors are knowing that this money is not utilized for the purpose of investing, this is utilized for the purpose of repair of assets or to recreate any asset, the investors might not invest in your company. So this is what asset approach theory says. Then asset approach, they are useful for, why it is useful? First of all, asset intensive business. There are some business which is totally depending on asset basis, right? Like there is a business where uh, totally your machines are required. You are having heavy machines. So suppose your machines are not working well, or your machines are under a repair. Now, due to the machines not working well or under repair, your all business will stop, or you cannot perform your business activity. The reason is totally your business is depending on your assets. But there are certain other businesses, like some service sectors are there, some banking industries are there, some other financial industries are there, mutual fund companies are there, or any other businesses are there, where they don't have that much of dependence on a particular assets. So even if that asset is not there, they can manage to run their show without it. In that case, this kind of approach might be not as suitable as the business where assets are required a lot. Because see, you can understand that, like, see, one transport company is there. For him, the lorries, bus, whatever is the transport things are there, vehicles are there. Those are the assets for him, right? For a transport company. Now, suppose if the bus or a lorries, out of some 100 or 100 lorries, some 50 lorries are not working. They are under repairs. They are not performing well. So there are various problems. Now you can see here, due to the assets which are not having running properly, your business is totally depending on assets, that is vehicles. So you can't perform your part of business. So asset approach says the first usefulness of having asset approach valuation, it is more useful for asset intensive kind of businesses. Similarly, real estate holding companies. So this is again more and more useful for those business where the people who are involved, the business which is involved in real estate holding companies. So many companies, what they do is they are involved in real estate business, real estate holdings, like they are buying a land, they are developing it, they are converting that into houses, they are converting that into apartments. Now here you see, their money, total money is being invested in one particular assets, right? One particular assets, that they buy a land, and they have constructed an apartment, right? They have developed a land, they constructed an apartment. So they are investing their all money into one particular assets, right? And suppose when they bought a land, if the government has bought a rule that this kind of land cannot be sold in that area, in that case, you will find that there will be no value. They will be not having any substitutes. Okay, so this asset approach will badly get affected. So even real estate holding companies are also requiring a lot. It is very useful for them also to have asset approach. Then entities that hold mostly securities. Okay, there are entities or companies which hold more and more securities, or they hold more and more kind of cash, right? In that case also asset approach is very, very useful. Like they are issuing more and more shares to the public, right? And after issuing more and more shares, they will get plenty amount of cash as a liquid asset. So asset, that doesn't mean only that we are concentrating on only fixed assets, right? There are other types of assets also, like current assets is there, or liquid assets are there. So here what happened, your cash moment is more, your securities are more. So here also if you do asset approach valuation, business valuation, so it will be very, very useful for such kind of business also. Some contracting business that bid for work. Okay, there are some other contractors and contracting business who bid for work. Like there will be a passage of a tender, and when a tender is passed, some of the contract will get a tender, and he will start a contract, right? He will start constructing something. Now here also there is asset involved. So what that contractor is doing, he is not investing, or he is not going to do in any other kind of expenses. He is investing in some expenses which is a capital expenditure or a capital asset for some person. Like he is building a home, like he is building some dam, like he is building some bridge, like he is building some hospital. So some or other asset is being created. So here also, in case of the contracting business, the asset approach is very, very useful. Then asset approach often requires outside appraisals. So if you are doing any only inside appraisals, so appraisals in the sense you are doing only the study and you are doing the valuation and estimation of only the internal matters. But if you don't consider about the market value, if you don't consider about the different situation in the market, your asset approach valuation will not have not it will not give you a successful result or a proper result. So to get a proper result, what you need to do is you should take the requires, or if you take the requirement even from the outside appraisals, right? Not only inside appraisals, but also outside appraisals are also uh, should be taken. Then most identify non-operating assets like excess cash or absolute inventory. So must identify non-operating assets like excess cash or obsolete inventory. So we need to identify the main objective, we can say, for asset approach is to identify non-operating assets. There are so many assets which are not operated. So if these assets are not operated, they are idle in your business. Like for example, there are assets, you already have some 3 machines in your business, right, in your company. Now you have one additional machine with you. Those 3 machines are fully occupied, or they are being used for entire week or month, but one machine is not utilized. It is just kept as it is. So that is what is a non-operating asset. You can utilize it. If you keep at some place, that machine after some days is going to become a scrap, and you won't get any kind of return by just keeping in the warehouse or just keeping in your industry. So if you give that machine on lease basis, okay, when you analyze that which kind of assets are non-operating, when you analyze that you were having some one machine, you were having some one vehicle, you were having some other kind of assets, tools. So these all things were totally not useful, or which were not in use. So those were non-operating assets. What you can do is that you can make a list of it after doing a valuation, and you can either sell it if you want. Your management want that if they want to sell these assets, you can sell it, or else if you don't want to sell, at least you can give on the lease basis to the people who are interested. They will pay you some lease rent. So this is about non-operating assets. Similarly, the asset approach, it also identifies the excess cash or excess cash. So suppose if you keep excess cash in your business, there will be a lot of problem happens for your business. So basically the problems like you will face a difficulty about income tax, right? When you have an excess amount of cash, that means it shows that you are getting a lot of profit. When you get a lot of profit, ultimately you have to pay more and more amount of tax. So this is one kind of reason. Similarly, excess amount of cash, if is kept in the business, or if it is kept in just a bank account of a business, that will not give him more amount of return. But same excess amount of cash, if it is being again reinvested in the business, or if it is reinvested in some other profitable areas, that would give him a better return. And similarly, obsolete inventory. So obsolete inventory are those where the inventory were being produced and they were lying in the godown for the very long time, and due to that it has been either damaged, spoiled, or any other um, kind of bad thing has happened to the inventory. Either they have spoiled, either they have been damaged, either they have expired, or some kind of things have been happened to the inventory because of not using it continuously or not removing it from the go down. So these all things you can find only with the help of valuation of the asset approach. Then company may have intangible assets that contribute to business value that aren't listed on the books. So even company like they even do the valuation, or they can do different kind of valuation, like goodwill is there, which is a very important intangible assets, which are not even like listed in some of the company's balance sheet. You are not bought any kind of goodwill. You have a reputation, but you want to know about the value of your goodwill in the business. That can be done. You are having some other kind of intangible assets like patent, copyright. Okay, you can do the valuation of that also, because you will come to know about again where actually your goodwill is, at what position it is. So these are some of the usefulness of having an asset approach. Okay, so